Go ahead and call the Monday, May 4th, 2026 Board of Commissioners meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone here, and happy, if you're a Star Wars person, happy May the 4th be with you day. So, and I can't believe I just said that, but that's okay. At this time, I'll entertain the invocation and pledge from Commissioner Henry Tyson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If you're able, please stand. Good gracious Heavenly Father, we praise and thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to come conduct the business of the people of Cumberland County. We pray that you would be with us in these proceedings and that you will guide as we make the decisions that in the best interest of the community. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, we'll move forward to the recognitions portion of our morning meeting. We will go to the retired Environmental Health Director, Daniel Ortiz, County Manager Greer. I'll turn
Yes,
it over to you.
Assistant County Manager. Good morning, Commissioners, Chairman.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Assistant County Manager Heather Skeens will present this retirement award to Daniel Ortiz. And
All right, good morning.
Good
morning.
Daniel, I'm asking you to come up. And I also want to recognize that his supervisor, Tamara Morris, who's the Deputy Health Director, is also here too. So we were very disappointed when Daniel decided to leave Cumberland County. Daniel worked with us beginning on January 6, 1997 in environmental health. Had some promotions along the way and then left us to go to Mecklenburg County in June of 2018. However, we stole him back from Mecklenburg County, and he came back to us in November of 2023 and is recently retired. Daniel is our Environmental Health Director. He has been responsible for making sure that we're meeting all of our deadlines, getting all of those permits issued, and has done a fabulous job. We hated that he decided to retire. But I'm happy for him and what comes next for him. We have a certificate for you, but it's being ordered, so we don't have it here. But I wanted to just turn it over. Daniel, if you want to say a couple of words.
Well, sure. I wasn't expecting to say anything, but thank you for the presentation. And it's been an absolute joy working for Cumberland County. I'm sorry I had to leave, but it was an opportunity to be the director for Mecklenburg County. And but I'm back. I came back because this is where my heart was, and I just love working here and helping the public. So I do appreciate my years working here, and it's been absolutely wonderful.
We got one thing for you. Staying right there, and then I'll let the board make any comments they want to make. So I have a chairman's coin for you. It's a county coin. If you're a military person, it's our challenge coin. So they're presented by the chairman, and it's for you for your years of service, and thank you for all you've done for Cumberland County.
I do collect these. These are amazing. Thank
All right,
you,
now,
sir.
so if you get challenged, I expect you to have it, or you know the drill.
Okay.
Okay. I appreciate that. Look at you, already been challenged. Bring it on. He's got to have one. Yep. Let's circle back here. We come back to the low man. Team effort.
Just a second, we're going to
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Thank you. Commissioners, I'll open it up if you have any comments for Mr. Ortiz. Commissioners, any comments for Mr. Ortiz?
Mr. Chairman, and Mr. Ortiz can stand right there.
You're recognized, Commissioner Adams.
Thank you. And I just want to say thank you for your service, but
to let everybody know, you led us through the problem when we were losing all these environmental health people to other counties, and you weathered that storm and protected Cumberland County. And I just want to say thank you for doing that. I know it had to be a stressful time because it was stressful for us, but thank you for doing that for us and for the citizens of Cumberland County. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Any other commissioners? Mr. Ortiz, thank you for 29 years of service. We appreciate it. Enjoy your days ahead and your next chapter, but thank you so much for all you've done for Cumberland County. Thank you, sir. At this time, we'll move to item 2, approval of the agenda. County Manager Greer, are there any changes or additions to the agenda?
Yes, Chairman, we do need to add a paragraph under the closed session for property acquisition, paragraph A4.
A4, A5?
A5?
Five.
A5, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's okay. Okay, got it. Thank you. Commissioners, other items to add? Madam Clerk, I believe we've got an additional proclamation for Economic Development Week to add as well. Board, we've got a proclamation to recognize May 4th through 8th as Economic Development Week to add as well. We'll add that to consent. Anything else to add? Hearing, Commissioner Tyson, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Without objection, I make a motion we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Got a motion to approve the agenda with the additions noted. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on the motion? And Commissioners, we will be doing a hand vote for this meeting. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
And we'll go ahead and move to the consent agenda. Commissioners, are there any changes for the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Commissioner Tyson, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We've got the motion to approve the consent agenda has been properly seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
And at this time, I'd like to make 2 presentations that we just approved. We can have Ms. Carlotta Ray come forward, and your family, if you'd like your family to come forward as well. We have a proclamation that we would like to read and present to you. If you want to come up to the podium. No, to the podium, ma'am. I'm sorry.
The other podium.
The other podium. Whereas Carlotta Ray has faithfully served the human services field for 26 years with honor, distinction, and unwavering commitment to meeting the needs of individuals experiencing mental health challenges, and whereas during her 12-year tenure with Cumberland County Mental Health Center, she contributed meaningfully to multiple roles, beginning with a grant-funded position supporting the EAP program in 2000. In 2001, she became a substance abuse counselor, later transitioning in 2004 to the role of human services clinical counselor, and beginning in 2006, she served 6 years as a licensed clinical counselor. Whereas Carlita's 13-year career with Alliance has been marked by continual professional growth, dedication, and purpose. And whereas throughout her career, Carlotta Ray has proven to be an invaluable asset to both Cumberland County Mental Health Center and Alliance Health, demonstrating a tireless work ethic and steadfast loyalty to the mission, values, and vision of the organization she served. Whereas Carlotta Ray has exemplified excellence and tenacity throughout her distinguished career, embodying the true spirit of a dedicated public servant to the community. Now, therefore, we, the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners, do hereby recognize the many accomplishments and impact work of Ms. Ray, and be it further resolved, the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners proclaim Monday, May 4th, to be in honor of Carlotta Ray and her dedicated service to Alliance Health, Cumberland County Health Center, Cumberland County, and the surrounding communities. Adopted this 4th day of May, 2026, signed Kirk J. Deviere, Chairman. Congratulations, and I'm going to ask Commissioner Adams to take it down.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. And I'm sure he has words.
No, just a few.
You're
I was at her
recognized.
retirement ceremony the other day, so she knows how my feelings. But I will say for the citizens of Cumberland County, thank you for the service that you've done through the mental health transformation over to Alliance. You kept us and kept Cumberland County in the know and took care of the citizens of this community. So I just want to say thank you for what you've done. All right.
Thank you.
I guess we turn around this way. I guess you'll introduce your husband here, but come on.
All right, thank you all for
Yes, ma'am.
this honor, and I would like to introduce my husband, Wilbur Ray.
I have one other thing for you.
Okay.
Wasn't able to make your retirement ceremony, but I also have a chairman's corner for you as well, so I want to present you that. And thank you for your service, and thank you for all you've done in a very difficult field and demanding field, but thank you for all your commitment to Cumberland County, so thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not getting in trouble now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all. No other words. Thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions, any other comments? All right, hearing none, we'll move to the next proclamation. We have a proclamation for Economic Development Week, and I'd like to ask Ms. Brittany Odom from the Fayetteville-Cumberland Economic Development Corporation to come forward and receive it on behalf of the corporation, on behalf of the community. Whereas May 4th through 8th, 2026 has been designated as Economic Development Week, and whereas the economic development profession cultivates thriving neighborhoods, championing sustainability and resiliency, boosts economic prosperity, enhances the quality of life, and builds a robust tax base. And whereas economic development professionals operate through diverse economic environments, including rural, suburban, and urban settings, local, state, and national governments, public-private partnerships, Chamber of Commerce, institutes of higher learning, among many similar organizations and associations. And whereas economic development contributes to the betterment and progress of Cumberland County by fostering growth and prosperity through equity, inclusion, sustainability, resilience, and innovation. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Cumberland County proclaim the week of May 4th through the 8th, 2026 as Economic Development Week in Cumberland County, and urges its citizens to salute the professionals located in our area for their important role in the growth and prosperity of Cumberland County. Adopted this 4th day of May, 2026, signed Kirk J. Deviere, Chairman. I'd like to bring this to you and present this to you. As the liaison to the CEDC Board.
Yes. Robert Van Giens is actually in Washington, D.C., advocating for our community at Select USA Investment Summit. So he is steering the great work that we do. I'm proud to be on his team, and we're proud to have you guys as a really good backbone for us. So thank you all.
Well, we'd rather have you here.
Thank you so much.
Commissioners, any comments on that presentation? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move to items of business. Item business A, consideration of resolution to lease certain real property to the Coastal Horizon Center, Inc. County Manager Greer, you recognized.
Yes, I'll turn this one over to Assistant County Manager Heather Skeens to present and answer any questions you may have. Heather?
Good morning again. So
morning.
this
Good morning.
is the final phase in the lease for Coastal. We have presented at the Finance Committee. It came to this board to do the intent with the resolution to lease, and so this is the adoption of the resolution. It does include all of the guidance from the Finance Committee, including the additional cost. So we have a base rent and then the additional cost for utilities, et cetera. And so we're just asking for approval of the lease, the resolution to lease, and for signature.
Commissioners, questions on this item? Seeing none, I will ask for a motion. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
Yes, I move that we adopt the following resolution. The real property located at 412 Russell Street in Fayetteville for a total of 1,212 square feet will not be needed for government purposes for the term purpose for the lease of the property to Coastal Horizon Center Incorporation. The board adopted a resolution of intent to lease the property described herein its regular meeting held on March 16th, 2026, and the notice of intent to release the property was advertised in the Fayetteville Observer on March 23rd, 2026. Be it therefore resolved that the chairman is authorized to execute a lease with Coastal Horizon Center Incorporation for the property consisting of 1,212 square feet of space located at 412 Russell Street, Fayetteville, North Carolina, for a term of 13 months, consuming on May 1st, 2026, at a rate of $2,093.80, payable on a monthly basis.
Second the motion.
We've got a motion to adopt the resolution to lease certain real property to Coastal Carolinas Horizon Center, Inc. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
We'll go ahead and move, thank
Thank
you.
you.
We'll go ahead and move to item B, consideration of contract for off-site soil delivery at the Ann Street Landfill, Cell 11. County Manager Greer, you recognize.
Yes, Amanda Lee, General Manager of Natural Resources and Solid Waste Director, will present this item and answer any questions you may have. Good morning, Amanda. And
County
I
Manager.
apologize for my voice.
County Manager, is there any additional or new items since this information has been uploaded
No.
for the public and for the commissioners? Ms. Lee, good morning.
Good morning.
Could you just give us a quick overview of it? And seeing there's no new information, we'll all open it up for the board to make questions. Just a quick overview of the request.
So for a quick overview, Ann Street is in a soil deficit, and we are identifying all sources of soil. One is looking at wetlands remediation, which that project is in progress. The other was we went out for bids to look for soil from an off-site borrow source to be brought to Ann Street. We looked at a certain quantity that was well over the bid estimate, but we were able to negotiate with the low bidder to secure some soil for Ann Street.
Thank you, Ms. Lee. Commissioners, questions on this item? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Commissioner Faircloth, you're recognized.
Thank you, sir. I move to approve the following proposed actions. One, to approve the contract with Triangle Grading and Paving Incorporated for off-site soil delivery, Ann Street Landfill, Cell 1, with a not-to-exceed amount of $2 million. And two, to authorize the chairman to execute the attached contract that has been pre-audited and determined to be legally sufficient.
Second the motion.
We've got a motion to approve the contract for off-site soil delivery at Ann Street Landfill. It's been properly seconded. Is there any discussion or comments on the motion? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and move to item C, consideration of bid award for Crown Sound System. County Manager Greer, you're recognized.
Yes, as we upgrade some of the systems at the Crown Coliseum, we need to look at the sound system. Assistant Manager Faye Phillips will present this as item and answer any questions you may have. Faye?
Assistant Manager Phillips, is there any updated information that's been presented to the public or to commissioners and to the commissioners based on this item being previously presented?
Yes, sir, Chairman. There is a few updates that I
Okay.
would like to provide if possible.
If you could provide the updates to us, and then we'll open it up for questions. Thank you.
Absolutely. As the board considers whether to accept or reject this award, it should be noted that since the meeting on April 27th, 2026, one of the potential vendors did reach out to the commissioners via email, which is considered a prohibited communication in our bid and procurement process as outlined in Section 3.1 notices to the vendor. Additionally, in order to meet the deadlines for the Local Government Commission debt financing, if the Board of Commissioners choose to reject this bid, we are prepared to rebid immediately on May 5th, 2026. And for an update to the board, And for your awareness, in the proposed bid package, there will be inclusion of language that all contractors must have a proper license as required under state laws governing their respective trades, and that Chapter 87, Article 1 of the NC General Statutes will be observed in awarding contracts. This update is added after consultation with a local structural engineer, as well as the engineer who designed the roof of the Crown. Due to the load of the speaker array, so the weight of the speaker arrays on the roof of the Crown and other aspects of this project, the project is considered a life safety score of 3. Let's see, going through the other updates. We do intend to bring a recommendation from a rebid if the board chooses to reject this bid at the May 18th, 2026 meeting. It should be noted that as all with all bid processes, if a sufficient number of bids are not received, our request for financing would not be able to go before the local government commission. At this time, I would seek from the Board of Commissioners to either reject or award the bid and provide any guidance on preferred sound system, Meyer, JBL, EAW, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Assistant Manager Phillips. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And can you reiterate on what type of, since the last discussion, what specific system this is that's been the present time the bid's being on? I know we were discussing different types of brands.
So I'm going to, with the county manager's permission, ask Amanda Lee, General Manager for Natural Resources, to come and answer specifics. And I want to make sure we're clarifying so that I understand your question fully. On the current system, you would like to know the specs on the current system?
Right, and that, if I know there was a lot of discussion on which brands were particularly, I guess, preferable or that of more advancement. Just a refresher for our listening community as well as for myself on that, please.
Yes, ma'am. So it was a performance spec that was issued. The information around the Meyer system was used, and then there was a equivalent vendors were identified. One was added at the addendum. Those vendors, there were 4 listed. And I want to say the addendum was issued before the bids were open. It was Myers, JBL, EAW, and I cannot remember the 4th vendor right now. Those are the specifications. We'd like clarification if the board would like to pursue the Meyer system as the preferred alternate, or if these other alternates are acceptable, or if the board has an opinion on other brand names that we should include.
And if I may add into that, what we're seeking with the different sound system alternatives, we would make sure that we include that in the bid package that goes out for folks to bid on, so that we have that clarification and that it is there from the beginning.
Vice Chairman Jones, follow up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to thank both Amanda and also Ms. Phillips for clarifying that. That was pretty much, she took the initiative to ask her that. I wanted to make sure that was going to be included. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Ms. Lee and Assistant County Manager Phillips. I just wanted to, it's been brought to my attention that that some of the comments that were made at the last meeting may have made staff feel like that some of those comments were directed at them. I just wanted to make sure that that the record reflects that that was not the case, Mr. Chairman. I think it was mostly frustration with the process of this. And you know, Mr. Chairman, I know you know me well. You know I'm a big process guy. And so, you know, I think my preference would be for us to reject the bids that we have today. However, I think we have to weigh that versus where we are now in this process, Mr. Chair, and I certainly don't want to put at jeopardy or at risk us being able to go and secure our debt that we need, not just for this project, but for our modernization of our other facilities. And so I think given those circumstances of where we are today, Mr. Chair, I think we're going to have to move to make a decision. But I just wanted to make sure I clarified that in my position, and if any of the staff felt like it was directed at them, it certainly wasn't, and I just want to make sure they know that they're appreciated, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Tyson. Commissioners, other comments or questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Commissioner Patel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At this time, I'd like to move to accept the most responsive bid, option A, the bid award for the Crown Coliseum sound system, and to authorize the county manager to engage an acoustics engineer to confirm the specifications, and if needed, advise the Board of Commissioners prior to contract execution. And that would be the Myers Panther system. Ms.
Panther, okay.
Ms. Phillips.
Thank you for that clarification.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
We've got a motion to accept the bid award for the most responsive bidder. It's been properly seconded. Are there questions or comments on that motion? Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
Just some clarification, so I make sure. That's Metropolitan Interactive Ltd.?
The option A.
I don't know what option A is. I didn't see, I just see that they were the lowest responsible bid.
Do you want to clarify that, Commissioner Patel?
Yes, Mr. Chair. That would be the most responsive bidder, option A, the Meyer Panther system. It's the above the LTD.
Wait a minute, let me see.
It's the last bullet point.
May I ask a question?
The Drawhorn Brothers Incorporated?
Yes, the Meyer Panther system.
You're recognized, Commissioner Adams.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know how we do that when I think when the clarification came that this communication to all of us violates the rules of the bid process. I think that opens us up to this county to a lot of lawsuits. That's why I was trying to figure out exactly what that was. I mean, it was a detailed, came to me. I didn't respond to it. But I think that in our bid process, if I correct, did you say that was basically in opposition to what our requirements were? You could clarify that for me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yes, sir. So in section 3.1, notices to the vendor, there is a section that talks about prohibited communication. In there, it does have a section that if the vendor reaches out directly, that they may be disqualified.
County, before you proceed, Commissioner Adams, County Attorney, could you clarify the language as far as vendor communication?
It is, as Faith said, it would be up to the board. I mean, we have the obligation, once we find out, to report to the board, but it was actually to the board. It is not, if any of you had any communications in response to that, that would be at a different level, but if none of you had any communications with that vendor, you could choose to waive it was a violation, but you could choose to waive that. But what I would suggest, Mr. Chairman, let's get some clarification on what the lowest responsive bid was, because I think there's some confusion on that.
So as I understand it, the motion is for the responsive bidder, not the lowest responsive bidder. So the motion is for option A. And the board, are you saying that the board cannot move that action forward?
You'd have to give an explanation of why you're not choosing the lowest responsive bidder. And maybe I've got it wrong. Who is the lowest responsive bidder?
So I have that the lowest responsible bid was from Metropolitan Interactive Ltd. in the amount of $1,499,805.06.
That's what I was struggling with. But so what is the other?
So I have the option A, Meyer Panther. That is, I think, there's two Meyer options that I have that were submitted. The first is from Drawhorn Brothers Incorporated. Option B, it's for the Meyer Tigra system. Submitted a bid in the amount of $2,102,018.25. It meets IFB requirements. I also have another Meyer option, which was the option A option. From the Drawhorn Brothers, Meyer Panther submitted a bid in the amount of $2,345,515.65.
It's my understanding that there was no issue with the responsiveness of the bids. It's just issue with what's the lowest bid now. If the board's direction is that they want to have this Meyer system, I mean, that would really have to be bid again, because, I mean, am I missing something? Was there anything, Amanda, was there anything wrong with the, you had recommended a bid before, is that correct?
I had recommended the Met Interactive bid that had the low bid for EAW. But I'll also note that Met Interactive provided an option for the Myers Panther system. It was a $250,000 adder. Now, I have not compared that adder with the other bidder because we stopped at the lowest responsive bidder. But Med Interactive did include in their bid an adder for $250,000 for the Myers Panther system.
Attorney Moorfield, and I'm going to go to the commissioners here, just one final follow-up from a legal standpoint. So you are instructing, or your legal opinion is the board cannot approve a award that is not the lowest responsive bidder?
That not without an explanation.
What would define an explanation, please, sir?
Well, in this instance, it sounds like you're saying you prefer this Meyer, which the way it was bid, it could have been a Meyer. It just wasn't the lowest bid. But it also sounds like that there is a bid, an alternate bid on the Meyer system that's just lower than the one that they're looking at. So that's what you're faced with right now. It's like a considerable difference in the price.
All right, thank you, Attorney Moorfield. Commissioner Faircloth, you're recognized.
Thank you. Okay, this is getting just a little bit confusing. What I want to know is, at this point, do we have time to reject bids and rebid and get this done in a timely manner?
If we get 3 bids this time, yes, we would be fine. If we don't get 3 bids, if there's less than 3 bids, there's not enough time to do it over, and we'd have to get 3 bids under the statute.
Can I follow up?
You follow up.
Okay, if we do that, say, I think I understood that you said it could be done tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, would it be propitious for us to specify somewhere in the bid documents a Meyer system? I'm not expert on systems, but if that's what is called for, if that's what we decide we want, I mean, we could specify that, and it would change the parameters. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
As a follow-up to that, yes.
And that is advice that if the board does reject the bids, that we would seek that recommendation to make sure that we have the specs as the board would like from the beginning of the bid.
Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I guess that, going back to the last time we discussed this, that was my concern, Mr. Chair. If you do look at the spec under the task, under section B, under subsection 6, it says reuse existing structures, collectors to allow for power and signal cable management in either the grid or directly above the Meyer Panther array, subarray, and downfield speakers. Under 7, it says attach all Meyer Panther array, Meyer subarray, and Meyer Ultra X40 to the modified or created hoist. 8 says dead hang 4 Meyer Ultra X80 speakers. 9 says dead hang 4 Meyer Lena speakers. So I guess I'm going back to the county attorney saying there wasn't a preferred vendor in the spec. The spec directly calls on those 4 items that it is delineated, and that's the concern I had expressed at the last meeting, Mr. Chair, along with the other concern of EAW as a manufacturer being changed after the solicitation was put out, Mr. Chairman. And that recommendation coming from our partners over at OVG to our county staff. And this vendor, from my understanding from the general manager of OVG, was a vendor that OVG has used regularly. It's a vendor that OVG had recommended to bid on this project.
But not only that, Mr. Chair, if we go with the lowest bid that's on the sheet, which is if we're going to say, okay, we're going to allow alternate brands, that's fine. But then if we go with the lowest bid on the sheet, it was determined to be non-responsive because it didn't meet the performance spec. That determination from the general manager when I asked him about it, was also determined by OVG. So again, my preference, Mr. Chair, let's just throw them all out then, because, and I'm not saying that there was anything improper in the process or that the staff did anything wrong, but I certainly don't want to look like we're directing bids to a certain vendor because of the relationship that our consultant has with them either, Mr. Chair. And that's my concern. And I yield back.
Thank you, Commissioner Tyson. Before I move to the other commissioners' comments, Attorney Moorfield, anything you want to weigh in here as far as, based on what you've heard, is there an opinion that you would have on direction for the board on this bid based on all the discussion you've heard?
With the specifics that, excuse me, the Commissioner Tyson just pointed out with the references to the Meyer system, I think that would be an explanation for you directing the lowest responsive bid for the Meyer. But I understand there are two systems, and I don't think it specified. What did it specify in there? Which one of the systems it was, Mr. Tyson? Panther. Then I think that would be a sufficient legal explanation for the board to direct the lowest responsive bid for the Meyer Panther system.
And Attorney Moorfield, based on Commissioner Adams' comments, in the time, is there any legal concerns that we potentially could have, and based on the time frame to reject and rebid, is there a legal opinion on a recommendation for the board?
If the board can do this today, it would be my recommendation in terms of our timing with the LGC. And we'd have to do 7 days of advertising each time if we didn't get 3 bids. Now, there were more than 3 bids on this to begin with, but that doesn't mean there will be the next time. But yeah, the cleanest way to do it would be, if we didn't have the LGC timing issue, would be to just redo it like that. But we are running a substantial risk. And I think it would be a legally sufficient basis based on information that Commissioner Tyson has read from the specifications for the board to determine that it was for this Meyer Panther system.
Attorney Moorfield, based on the commission, or based on the staff's input, we would still be able to meet LGC if it's rejected and immediately rebid.
We would still be able to meet if we got 3 bids.
Correct.
Remember, it's a formal bid requirement. If we don't get 3 bids, we can't open any of them. We just got to do it over again. And what does the timing run out to be? The same day as the LGC meets?
The 18th. We have to bring this to the 18th meeting,
Or a special.
or a special meeting.
Anything else, Attorney Moorfield, on that line?
With 18, but you only got 4. The 18 subtract 4 is already just 2. So it's the 18th is your deadline.
Yes, sir.
For opening bids and approving them.
Yes, sir.
When's it rescheduled to the LGC?
I'm on.
The 15th.
June 15th.
Okay, so okay, all right.
Okay.
Well, could you get?
June 9th, I'm sorry.
June 9th. Could you get a bid out today?
We are prepared and ready to go out today. I
Mr.
just
Moorfield, is
clarified
there a recommendation?
With that, Amanda, I think I'm doing the numbers right. If you got it out today and we only got 2 bids, you could still bid it that same day and get it back out by on the 18th. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Then I think you could make the deadline if you wanted to reject the bid and start over.
Is there a recommendation from you as our legal counsel?
I would recommend rejecting and doing it that way.
I'll turn it back to Commissioners. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized.
This is Mr. Greer. Can I get your input, please, since you all work with, even in collaboration with LBG as well as Amanda? I would like to hear what you all's input is from you all working with them in regards to the situation, because I'm getting a little bit confused myself hearing about 2 different Myers situations, but since you all have been the ones interacting with them, can I get your input, please?
I'll turn it over to Amanda. She worked more detailed on this than I did.
Ms. Lee, you're recognized.
Myers was used as a standard in the spec, as pointed out. But in the first statements of the spec and in the introduction, it said that this is not a sole source, that we listed 3 manufacturers, and then we added one in the addendum. So we've always listed 3 manufacturers. So, because we have not followed the sole source required, now we can look at a preferred alternative when we bid, where we would list Myers as a preferred alternative and require that as a option with an increase. Some vendors, and OVG was consulted about the manufacturers that were listed. And again, Myers was used as the standard, but it was noted that 3 other manufacturers. Now, when we bid it, the lowest responsive bidder did mention, did provide an alternate for Panther, for Myers Panther. Now, I do not recall how many arrays that low bidder had. I do not know how many arrays the option A that you have listed is. But on the basis of the lowest responsive bid, it would appear that it would be EAW. And then if you wanted to go with Myers Panther, they did offer an additive bid if you wanted to perhaps change order that to the contract. So if that is, if you want to just spec Myers, I have to list other alternatives and show Myers as the preferred alternative.
Follow up, Vice Chairman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And so since you did due diligence and work on this, what would you, I'm asking you, what would you recommend from doing the work since you've been talking to all these different individuals that have to do with this? And as you stated, since we don't have that information on the comparison, it sounds like, am I correct on that? You're stating that it seems to be 2 different Myers systems, but there was an addendum or added on that they stated as an EL that they could do? Is that what you're stating when you?
Well, what I'm saying is we allowed systems other than Myers. Even though we used Myers as a standard, we allowed other systems. And I did not specifically put on the bid form a preferred alternative for Myers. And then that way, if I had done it that way, and if we rebid it, we can do it that way, and every bidder can list an alternative for Myers.
What would be your recommendation?
I would recommend a rebid with a preferred alternative.
Thank you, Amanda.
Vice Chairman, anything else?
No, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
And I guess, Mr. Chairman, my question is, so, now I don't care which one gets it, I just want to make sure we do it the right way. But, so, that's all. Is the Metropolitan, they had a Myers component. How much was that?
It was a $250,000 adder over their 1.49 bid.
And so they still come in as the lowest responsive bidder, even if you did with the Myers. So we wouldn't necessarily have to reject these. We could just take them and take that, I guess you had that in there, that they would do Myers. And we are still at 1.7 as opposed to 2.3, and it meets what everybody wants. That seems to be where if Myers Panthers is what everybody talks about, they at 1.7. Even if you add the 250, the 1.4, you add the 250, they still at 1.7, and they're still the lowest responsive and responsible bid. And then you don't have to worry about the LGC. You just go ahead on and give it to them and do it today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Patel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And just for clarification on the record, I haven't spoken to any of the vendors. I think the option A was based off the specifications on the motion that I placed. So, Mr. Chair, I just want to clear that. So it was for the specs on the system that was in the RFP.
Anything follow up on that, Commissioner Patel? If not, I'll move to the next commissioner. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you,
Round
Mr. Chair, and I appreciate the recognition. So for me, if we received the spec from a third party, which we did, it came from a vendor that OVG had utilized. If that system was designed by a professional, an acoustical engineer, a sound system designer, to me, it's hard for us to go, we're going to go modify that professional spec without having a professional that has those credentials in the process. So really, we're talking academically, EAW, JBL, but we don't really know because we don't have someone that's credentialed in this area to advise this board on whether or not what system meets the spec, what doesn't, what's going to adequately cover the room. That's something we haven't brought up either, but this is a 30 to 40-year decision we're making on this facility. And I think our community and our constituents deserve for us to make sure that if we're going to move forward with a recommendation, that we have it based on sound professional advisement coming from a trade professional that's credentialed, Mr. Chair. So that would be the only other thing that I would add. And thank you, Mr. Chair. I yield back.
Commissioner Fairclough, did you have a comment? Your light went on and off.
Just like the one in my brain here today. I think the smartest thing to do is reject the bids and start over. And let's decide exactly what we want, or have this board a clarification of what it is we want, and then ask for that. I understand what Commissioner Adams said, and I heard the response from our director, but I heard her say earlier, though, she didn't know if this $250,000 was the same number of a raise as the higher bid. We would need that at a minimum to be clarified, I would think. And I'm not even sure I know what that means, but it sounds like in my head it's the number of speakers that are out there somewhere. So we don't know that. So just jumping on that particular one at this point, I think would be imprudent. But then I am concerned that we miss a window somewhere. I'm concerned about that. But my gut tells me to reject the bids. That's just me.
Thank you, Commissioner Fairclough. Vice Chairman Jones, you recognize round two.
Can I get your input,
I was just going to say
Manager Greer,
they
please?
raised all the number of speakers. They raised all the number of speakers.
What?
They raised all the number of speakers.
Oh, I think that was sort of intuitive, but we don't know if we got apples or oranges there.
I specified 4. There was question whether there should be 6, and actually the low bidder provided mapping to show the EAW had the better coverage than the Myers.
Vice Chairman Jones, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And so when this rebid goes out, the other ones are closed out, they're not going to be notified that they have to rebid, or will they? Will they be notified they have to rebid?
Yes, ma'am, we'll provide all appropriate notifications as with our bid process.
And if it goes out tomorrow, we'll have enough time frame, is that correct, to do what's needed? Deborah and Manager Greer, if a new bid goes out?
If it goes out, we'll have enough time. The only problem, like County Attorney said, the only concern would be not getting enough bids. But based on the conversation and the bids we had on the first go-around, I don't anticipate that being a problem.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Just one.
Vice Chairman Jones, anything else?
No.
Commissioner Fairclough, you recognize.
If in fact we get less than 3 bids, can we go to sole source?
Yes, I would
Okay.
say, but the turnaround on that will have to be very, very quick.
That still puts us in jeopardy.
We can't actually go to sole source on this because these other systems did meet those Meyer specifications. That's why she's saying she has to do an alternate. We can have, if you direct her to redo this, with the preferred system will be the Myers, whichever one you're going to pick.
Okay, we just have to hope we get 3.
Yeah, but anything that meets those specifications will have to be considered.
County Manager Greer, you recognize.
The sole source would be after we did this rebid if we could not. That's the going clarification.
Thank you, County Manager. Commissioners, additional questions or comments? Commissioner Patel, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Given the discussion and clarification from the county attorney and staff, I'd like to remove my motion from the table.
Do you have another motion to bring forward?
Yes, sir. I'd like to move that we rebid with the preferred alternative system being the Myers Panther.
Second motion.
And may I ask a clarification? Do we need to reject all the bids we have too?
You're recognized, and we'll clarify that in the...
I think when you said rebid, that meant you're rejecting.
Okay, just want to make sure.
So my understanding of the motion, Commissioner Patel, please clarify me. So you would reject all bids, authorize the immediate rebid based on, with the associated alternate specifications?
Yes, sir.
It's been properly seconded. Is there any continued discussion discussion or comments on that motion? So the motion is to reject. Commissioner Tyson, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to see if Commissioner Patel would entertain a friendly amendment to that motion. I would like to also add that if we are going to modify the specifications that we've received from our trade professional, that whoever modifies that specification or makes that recommendation needs to also be credentialed in that area to make that recommendation.
I'll accept that friendly amendment.
Commissioner Faircloth, do you accept that?
Second, contingent on that will still meet our timely needs. Can we do that?
I think it already is done that way. Wasn't the specifications done by an acoustic?
I'm going to turn to Amanda Lee on this one.
Ms. Lee, you recognize.
Met Interactive did provide the sound mapping and design for the EAW system, and they did have some commentary about the Panther system. Again, it's a matter of preferred alternate.
Who did the...
Attorney Moorfield, you recognize.
Who did the specifications that were addressing, referencing the Myers system in the components? Who did those specifications?
Sound Image out of California. Sound Image.
Is that a consulting firm that is an
They're actually a vendor, but what we can do is require the each bidder in their package provide a system designed by an acoustic engineer.
Is that acceptable?
If it's okay with Commissioner Tyson.
Is that acceptable?
Mr. Chair.
Okay. Vice Chairman Jones, you're recognized for a question on the motion or comment.
Yes, my comment is, I like Amanda's idea because, as I say, who's to say who's not credentialed and who is? Who makes that, I guess that's my concern. When we have consultants, I'm imagining that they qualify and have experience needed when you're talking with vendors. So I don't want to really get into who's credentialed and who's not, because obviously we're dealing with professional individuals here. Are we not? I mean, that's how we've been doing business. So I don't really want to get into whose states are doing what we're going to do, pull people's resumes. So that's fine with me, but let's be mindful of that. When we're talking about consultants, clearly and surely the county is taking that consideration that we're not just doing business with individuals that don't qualify. Just want to clarify that for our community. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chairwoman. Thank you, staff, for entertaining all the questions around this item. At this time, we've got a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded. Does anyone need clarification on the motion? The motion is to reject and rebid with the stipulation as outlined. Hearing no other questions, I'd ask for your vote to reject all bids. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Voting in favor, Commissioner Tyson, Vice Chairwoman Jones, Chairman Debbie Ayer, Commissioner Patel, and Commissioner Faircloth. Voting in opposition, Commissioner Adams.
Thank you, board and staff. We'll go ahead and move to the next item, consideration of rejection of bids for Cumberland County Expo Center, the chiller replacement. County Manager Greer, you're recognized to present the item.
Yes, Amanda Lee will present this item and answer any questions you may have due on the chiller bid rejection. Amanda.
Good morning again, Ms. Lee. If there is there any updates to what's been presented in our agenda package to the public and the board?
No, just an update that we plan to repackage this with another project to hopefully take advantage of economies of scale and mobilization to get this project back under budget.
So staff's recommendation
It's
is
still to reject bids.
Commissioners, questions on this item? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Commissioner Patel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At this time, I move that we reject all bids received under the invitation for bids for the Cumberland County Expo Center chiller replacement project.
Second the motion.
We've got a motion to reject bids for the Cumberland County Expo Center chiller replacement. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
And we'll go ahead and move to the next item. Thank you, Ms. Lee. Consideration of Crown Complex Theater and Arena Modernization Renovation, Construction Manager at Risk Selection, CMAR. County Manager Greer, you're recognized.
Yes, Commissioners, as we look to modernize and renovate the Crown Theater and Arena, we held interviews on April 23rd to interview firms for the CMAR. It's staff's recommendation that we move forward with TA11 Metcom as the construction manager at risk and authorize staff to begin the contracting process. And I'll take any questions you may have.
Thank you, County Manager Greer. Questions based on the items presented in our agenda packet and presented here today by the County Manager? Commissioner Adams, you're recognized.
No, I'm always ready. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just don't understand how we do a construction manager at risk when we haven't even gotten any of what we're trying to do out there. That makes, it seems as though you're putting the cart before the horse. And so with that, I think we're moving out of sequence. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
County Manager Greer, can you explain your professional opinion on why you wanted to have the CMAR selected at this time?
Yes, we're trying to have a planning meeting to go through the scope and get a scope approved or developed and then approved by the board.
So, County Manager, your intent is to have the entire project team together, which includes the CMAR, which can help provide costing after the pre-planning meeting?
Yes.
Commissioners, other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Commissioner Tyson, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I make a motion that we approve the selection of T.A. Loving Metcon as the construction manager at risk for the Crown Complex Theater and modernization renovation and authorize the staff to begin the contract process.
Second.
We've got a motion to approve the selection of T.A. Lovett and Metcom as the construction manager at risk. It's been properly seconded. Is there any discussion or comments on the motion? Commissioner Faircloth, you're recognized.
I just have a quick comment. I like the idea of getting them on board early and also like the selection. Metcom has done great work for this county in the past.
Commissioners, any other questions or comments before we vote? Seeing none, I'll ask for your vote on the motion to approve the selection of TA 11 Metcom as the construction manager at risk. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Voting in favor, Commissioner Tyson, Vice Chairwoman Jones, Chairman Deviere, Commissioner Patel, and Commissioner Faircloth. Voting in opposition, Commissioner Adams.
Thank you, Board and Commission and County Manager Greer. Thank you for you and your staff's work on that. I know it was a process. We'll go ahead and move forward to item 5, nominations. There are no nominations for this meeting. Item 6, appointments. There are no appointments for this meeting. Closed session. I'll entertain a motion from Vice Chairman Jones to go into closed session.
I move to go into closed session for attorney-client matter pursuant to NCGS 143-318.11A3, also personnel matter pursuant to NCGS 143-318.11A6, and real property acquisition pursuant to NCGS 143-318.11A5.
Second the motion.
Got a motion to go into closed session for the statutes listed. It's been properly seconded. Are there any discussions or comments on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask for your vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
And we'll move into closed session, and we'll return back to open session once we
Testing. Ooh. Testing.
Okay. Good. Steady go.
Any comments before I move to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, somebody stole my
You
water.
you are recognized. I give you mine, but mine's already open.
That's all right.
Hearing no other comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We got a motion to adjourn. It's been properly seconded. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Let me get upstairs.
And we're adjourned.
Thank you.